Saturday, August 26th, 2017, to you. Angola's election, celebrated this Wednesday, marked the end of an era. President Mr. José Eduardo dos Santos finally stepped down after 37 years in power, and surprisingly enough, the Popular Movement of the Liberation of Angola, MPLA, won the election by 61.05% of votes. MPLA obtained 150 of the 220 seats at the National Assembly, and its candidate, current Minister of National Defense, Mr. João Lourenço, was elected to succeed Mr. dos Santos. Given the lack of an independent judicial system, it is no wonder that the opposition claimed that the election was a massive fraud. By the way, Mr. dos Santos will remain as the MPLA chairman, so many are skeptical of Mr. Lourenço's level of autonomy. What is less questionable are the economic challenges that Angola will face during Mr. Lourenço's administration. Ever since the end of its 27 years old long civil war, Angolan economy has been based on oil production. But like it usually happens to producing countries, oil has become a God-given toxic present. That commodity represents 95% of Angola's exports. Also, about 75% of government revenues comes from oil. The problem is that three-quarters of production comes from offshore fields. Currently, there are 8 active rigs, down from 25 in 2014. Deep water projects are expensive and unattractive in a low-price environment. Accordingly, oil production is expected to decline at a rate of 11% from 2019 on. Then Angola must diversify its economy. There are some obstacles, though. First and foremost, a non-credible banking sector. A profound bank reform must be implemented so that local industry can access to credit. Secondly, entrepreneurs in Angola are too few. The entrepreneurial activity rate only stands at 21.5% and too low skilled. Angola has had some success in agriculture, telecoms and tourism. But given the prevalent financial pressures, it is hard to drive diversification. I guess that Angola must be a beautiful country, but if we consider that Luanda is the world's most expensive city, I'd rather go elsewhere. And this is the cruelest fact. 2/3 of Angolans live under the poverty line. In sharp contrast, Mrs. Isabel dos Santos, Mr. dos Santos' daughter, is Africa's wealthiest woman. Her fortune is estimated to be $3.5 billion. In my opinion, Mrs. dos Santos is her dad's figurehead. In any case, corruption and wealth inequality are the 2 most important hindering factors which future President Lourenço must tackle against if he is committed with Angola's development. Finally, it baffles me that Mr. dos Santos has picked up his Minister of Defense as successor instead of the Minister of Economics or the responsible for social development. Mr. dos Santos, is this the kind of defense that Angola currently needs? The world is still on.